Hello and welcome to this parent engagement session on how to support your child in a healthy, active lifestyle. My name is Mr. Davis and I'm delighted to be presenting this session for you. I'm going to begin with our session aims today, and that is to outline the aspects of a healthy lifestyle. Then we're going to spend a brief time just summarizing the benefits of a healthy lifestyle. And then arguably the most important aim is to give you some key ideas to take away and try with your families so that you can build some healthy family routines. What is a healthy, active lifestyle? I won't spend too long on this, as I'm quite aware that most of you will know what a healthy, active lifestyle looks like. However, it's always beneficial just to recap and revisit the key aspects that we're looking for in that lifestyle. So we are focusing on sleep, exercise, diet, general well-being, and it's important as well that we are covering the social, emotional, and mental aspects of the child. So it's not just about eating right and exercising, it's about the whole child, that whole development, making sure that they are happy and healthy in all aspects of their life. We are going to begin with a brief look at diet. The key features of a healthy diet are to ensure it is balanced in terms of the macro and micronutrients, aiming for 5 fruit and vegetables a day and keeping treats to a minimum, which for most of us is the most difficult part. Now, drinking plenty of water is obviously crucial. Our bodies are made up of 60% water, so it is important that our children are staying hydrated throughout the day and ensuring that we are providing them with enough water for the school day. Now, 1 bottle or 1 litre of water, especially on a PE day, is usually not enough for our Key Stage 2 plus students. So please ensure you are providing them with multiple bottles or one extra large bottle. Now, if you're in a position where your child is having difficulties with an aspect of their diet, there's lots of evidence that recommends shopping, preparing, and eating together can have a real positive impact on a child's experience with food. So please do try this if you do not do this already. In addition to this, again, if you are faced with any form of resistance or struggles from your child and their eating habits, I highly recommend the Gentle Eating book by Sarah Oxwell Smith. Now, this book takes on a new approach, which is completely child-led, child-friendly, and it focuses on empowering your child while respecting and accepting their food choices. It removes the old school authoritarian approach, instead allowing the child to have autonomy over their eating as much as possible. Highly recommended, some great tips and advice in there, so please do give that a read. Now, before we move on from diet, I wanted to draw your attention to our Padlet page. If you are in a position where you find being creative and providing your child or your children with a healthy lunch quite a challenge, I know in our household it can be one of those evening chores that can become a little bit repetitive. So if you are struggling for ideas, hopefully you'll find some inspiration on our page. There's lots of great lunch recipe ideas, obviously all healthy, all child friendly. So please do take a look at the Padlet, and I'll make sure that the link is available for you after the session. Moving on to sleep now, and this is of course absolutely vital when aiming to ensure our children are healthy and happy. Now, in PE this term, we have been exploring a new method to raise awareness of well-being, and the findings have been highly consistent through the variety of classes that we have trialled this new initiative with. Now, when the students enter the sports hall, they can place their water bottles in a green zone, a yellow zone, or a red zone. Now, a high proportion of our students place in the green zone, which is, of course, fantastic. But what has been really interesting is when the few students place in the yellow or red, when we then open up them one-on-one discussions with them, more often than not, the reason behind them not feeling so great is because they're tired, because they went to bed late. Now, during our student survey, we also found this the case. So from our term one data, you can see that 80% of our key stage 2 students have less than the recommended amount of sleep, which is a huge amount. Okay, so as a school, as a community, that is a target of ours that we really need to try and improve. Now, the World Health Organization recommends 10 to 11 hours for children aged 7 to 12. Younger students may need up to 12 hours, and teens are looking for around 9 hours. So bedtime routines are a really good way to ensure that your child is getting a good night's sleep, and whether they're 2 or 3, all the way up to our sixth form students. Bedtime routines are really important. So these routines can include reading or a story before bed. No screen time for a designated time before bed. 2 hours, an hour and a half is a good amount of time. Mindfulness, reflecting on the day or discussing what they're looking forward to tomorrow, particularly with the younger students. That's always a nice one. And being consistent with bedtimes. So going to bed at 6:30 one day and then 9 o'clock the next day, it isn't going to help them out with their sleeping routines. And finally, avoiding naps. From the age of about 5, students shouldn't, or children, I should say, shouldn't really be needing naps. If they're napping after school, then of course this can have a knock-on effect to how tired they are and when they should be going to sleep later on in the evening. So hopefully with these bedtime routine tips, we can as a community improve the sleeping habits of our children. We're going to spend a few moments looking at exercise now, and I thought it would be a great idea to answer some frequently asked questions. Now, before we get to them, hopefully you are aware that we should be aiming for around 30 minutes of exercise per day. And I always suggest that where possible, it's great if you can exercise together with your children. If that isn't possible, your child having that awareness of you exercising is a bonus as well. So maybe they see you going off to the gym or they see you going off to play your sport. That's going to encourage them to want to be active as well. So moving on to question 1 of our frequently asked questions. Whenever I have parents' evenings over the years that I've been teaching or parent consultations, these are some of the questions that I often get asked. So number 1, we're too busy for exercise as a family. We have busy family routines, busy schedules. What can we do? We simply don't have the time. Now, I always say my response to this, whether it's a parent or friends that are trying to get fitter, I always say everybody, no matter who you are or where you are, you can always find 15 minutes. And although the government recommendation is 30 minutes per day, you can squeeze that down to 15 or 20 minutes if you're exercising in a certain way. Now, you may have heard of a type of training called HIIT, and that stands for high intensity interval training. And what this means is that you're training for a short amount of time at a really high intensity. So, for example, you might sprint on the spot for 20 seconds, and then you might have a 30 or 40-second rest. I'm sure you're aware of Joe Wicks. He is a fitness coach, online fitness coach, and a lot of his sessions are based around HIIT training. Now, this isn't necessarily appropriate for sort of FS year 1, year 2 age children. However, from year 3 upwards, as long as they're exercising correctly and they're under supervision, HIIT training is fantastic for any age group from sort of year 3 and above. Younger students can of course do it, but they just need to lower the intensity and maybe adapt some of the exercises. So HIIT training, if you're struggling for time, HIIT training is amazing because you can have it done in 15 or 20 minutes. All you need to do, I say all, easier said than done, but all you need to do is set your morning alarm maybe 15 minutes earlier, get up, exercise straight away, and it just gives you such a great start to the day. Now that may not be appropriate for children. You may not want to get them up too early in the morning, so you might choose to do it after school or before dinner perhaps. But for older students and for yourselves, I definitely recommend training first thing in the morning. YouTube and social media, there's so many resources out there now, so many fitness trainers, fitness coaches with great material on how to train in how to exercise in a short amount of time. And we also have our YouTube channel as well, the PE department's YouTube channel, and there's a year's worth now of lessons and activities on there, so you can pick the appropriate age for your child, and there's activities on there, 10 minutes all the way up to hour-long lessons. So that's a great resource for you and your family to use as well. Skipping is also a great way to exercise if you're short on time. Skipping for just 5 minutes, you if you're new to exercise, you will find it very challenging. So you can start small and just build up gradually. Day by day, week by week. Start with maybe 5 minutes. A few days later, try 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and just making it slightly more challenging as the days and weeks go by. I know my neighbours upstairs have got into skipping. We sometimes hear them skipping at night. But as I say, start small, gradually increase it. And weekends as well. You're short on time, but generally most people do have more time at the weekend. So yes, you might not be able to exercise every day, but if you can dedicate 15, 20, 30 minutes on a Friday and a Saturday, hopefully as you start to enjoy it, as you start to do things together as a family more, that will then spill over into the weekdays, and it will become a habit. I've put there as well some family challenges, so you can challenge each other to make it more competitive and to make it more appealing. So, for example, you might do press-up challenges as a family. You might do skipping challenges. You might do some sort of cycle challenge. Children love that competitive edge. They love competing, and they would absolutely love to compete against their family members and their parents, I'm sure. So adding a competitive edge in the form of a challenge will, I'm sure, inspire the children to want to exercise more. Second question, my child just isn't sporty. What other options are there? Sometimes children just aren't necessarily into competitive sport. They don't necessarily like sport. Of course, we as PE teachers, we do try and offer a wide range of activities. So hopefully they'll find something that they enjoy. But sometimes it's just not the case. So I always recommend that you can go down other avenues. So non-competitive sports such as yoga. Or different kinds of fitness. So again, referring to them fitness challenges, and if you were to do them as a family, again, more likely to increase their participation, spending family time together while exercising. Martial arts is a good alternative as well. We don't do too much of this, particularly in primary school, so they may not have been exposed to it. But martial arts is a fantastic way to exercise. Teaches real good self-discipline, and there's a strong fitness element to it as well. And there's also some alternative activities that they won't necessarily experience at school. You've got things like skiing. Obviously, we've got Ski Dubai here, ice skating. And there's a company based at Kite Beach called Pirate Surf Rescue Dubai, where they teach life-saving skills and they teach some surfing. I've heard from a few students who are members that it is absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic, out in the open, and it's a fantastic experience for the children. And what an amazing skill to learn in terms of life saving. Question 3, I definitely didn't get this kind of question when I was teaching back home in London, but it does come up a lot here. So it's often too hot for sport in Dubai. What do you suggest? Fortunately, there are lots and lots of alternative options, and there's lots of indoor activities, for example. So we have gymnastics, trampolining, martial arts, skiing, ice skating. Some of the football clubs as well do have indoor facilities, so that's something that you can ask if you are looking at signing your child up for football, for example. Start them young as well. If your child is age 3, age 4, age 5, you'll be surprised at how resilient they are and how they do adapt and can cope in the heat. I started taking my son to athletics last summer when he was 3. It was about 43, 44 degrees, and he just got on with it. Obviously, very sweaty, drank lots of water, but they do get used to it. So the sooner you start them, the fitter they'll become, the more resilient they'll become, and that they will adapt to the heat. Um, the beach is obviously a great alternative in the height of summer. Not recommended to go during the daytime, but if you go evenings after sunset, or early in the mornings, we quite often go straight after breakfast. We try and get there for around 7:30, and it is lovely. It's not too busy. It's a nice temperature. It's a great time for the children to have that recreation and playtime, which does count as their 30 minutes of activity per day. You've also got swimming as a fantastic option. Lots of the compounds here and the apartments have their own pools, so swimming is a fantastic option. And you've also got home workouts or just getting up early. If running is your thing, or you want to start running with your child, getting up early before sunrise is a brilliant alternative. Yes, it means setting that alarm earlier, but it also means you get to go bed earlier, which I know I love, getting to bed nice and early. So hopefully there are some great alternative options for you there, so that not everything has to be outside in the heat. And the final question is, what are the best sports to sign my child up for? Again, in parent meetings over the years, I often get asked this question. So my initial response is always, it's best if your child chooses. So rather than you selecting for your child, expose your child to lots of different sports, whether that's just showing them on the internet, or watching different sports, speaking to them about different sports. Of course, here at WSO we offer a wide variety of sports during the curriculum, so they are exposed to plenty of options. Hopefully they will find something of interest, and that they're more likely to want to continue with that sport and to do well in it if it's their choice rather than their parents' choice. So as I say, it's always best if the child is selecting the sport rather than the parent. If the child can't decide or doesn't have a preference, or maybe they're too young to make that informed decision, I tend to direct parents to gymnastics and athletics. I feel that these two activities are the best in terms of transferable skills and covering lots of different aspects that are needed across a wide range of sports. You take gymnastics, for example, a lot of the focus is on core strength, it's on flexibility, it's on power, and there's lots of jumping involved, holding your own body weight, which these skills, if you've got these, if you're able to control your body, if you're flexible, it's going to help you in so many other sports. And in terms of injury prevention as well, the more flexible you are, the less likely you are to become injured. And in terms of athletics, it covers such a wide range of components of fitness. Again, we've got endurance, cardiovascular endurance with the middle and long distance running. We've got that speed and power with the sprints. It covers jumping and throwing, which are needed across, again, a wide range of sports. And both of these activities, gymnastics and athletics, they require a lot of determination and resilience and self-discipline, which are all, of course, really important skills for our children to learn and develop. So if you are struggling for a sport to send your child to sign them up, I would highly recommend gymnastics and/or athletics. Now, before we summarise some of the benefits of a healthy, active lifestyle, I asked my Year 12 students to give their thoughts and feelings about the importance of a healthy, active lifestyle.
Hi, my name is Darren, and I'm a Year 12 student in WSO, and I'm going to talk about the importance of healthy lifestyle. I think healthy lifestyle is really important in our life because it helps in socializing with friends, and as well as you make new friends. Therefore, you can exercise as well as enjoy at the same time. It also helps in reducing the risk of diseases in the long run, and I think that's really important as you stay healthy overall.
Hi, my name is Aryansh. I'm from Year 12, and to me, I think that living a healthy lifestyle as a student is very important because it's good for your mental health and it makes you feel good about yourself. And you could set a good example for people who want to change their lifestyle and live a better life.
Hi, my name is Ethan Milligan, and I'm a Year 12 student at WSO. I think that a healthy lifestyle is really important. Personally, for me, I do sports and I go to the gym quite a lot. Especially when I go into the gym in the morning, it really sets me up, puts me in a good position for the day, really energizes me. It's very important to live a healthy lifestyle because it can really reduce your stress levels and anxiety, helps you perform every day, and also in general keeps you a lot happier.
Thank you to our Year 12 students there for their brilliant input. So here's a list of just some of the benefits associated with leading a healthy lifestyle. And when you exercise, your body releases chemicals called endorphins, which leave you with a positive feeling and increase your energy levels. So simply put, when you exercise, it makes you feel happy. A healthy lifestyle creates a stronger immune system, which of course is even more important in the current climate. A balanced diet with the correct amount of sleep leads to healthy growth and healthy physical development. It increases the ability and the readiness to learn, and with reference to physical activity, it improves social development and confidence, as well as improving different aspects of fitness, which can then lead to better sporting performance. And finally, sport teaches us how to win and lose gracefully, how to share and take turns, along with evolving their competencies, all of which are key skills necessary for adult life. In a moment, we're going to hear from a few staff members providing you with their top tips and what they do to lead a healthy, active lifestyle with their families. Before that, I wanted to touch on the importance of parents as role models. Our children admire and look up to their parents no more than anyone else. So if they can see you being active and healthy and making the right choices, it's likely that it can inspire and encourage them to do the same. If you're telling them to eat the right things and to do more exercise, but you're not doing it yourself, it can be quite challenging to try and motivate them to change their ways. And it can be quite confusing, particularly for younger students, if you're telling them to do one thing, but you're not doing it yourself. So wherever possible, it's great if you can exercise together, if you can eat together, you can read together, and have a focus on reducing that screen time. Since the pandemic, screen time has increased a huge amount, and it's definitely something that we focus on in our household. My daughter's in Year 5, and I'm well aware that she spends quite a lot of time during the school day looking at the screen in class or her iPad. So we really limit her access, particularly during the week. Instead, she will complete puzzles and she reads. We play cards and board games. She goes to sports club 3 times a week. We listen to music. She plays with her Lego. All great activities that keep her away from a screen and help to reduce stress levels and anxiety and just really promote well-being. We're now going to hear from a few staff members where they outline what they do to ensure they lead a healthy lifestyle with their families.
To ensure my family and I lead a healthy and active lifestyle, we make sure we get plenty of sleep, we make sure that we eat and drink healthily, and we make sure we remain very active. Now, Mrs. Sadler is a very good cook, and she makes sure that the meals that she cooks for us all are healthy and balanced. We do have treats occasionally, but treats are only to be had every now and then. We make sure we have lots of fruit and vegetables, and we mix up our diet throughout the week. So we're very lucky for having Mrs. Sadler for that. We also keep very active. Myself personally, I like to run lots, and that's the exercise that I choose to do. But we like to go on walks as a family. We like to go on scooter rides. We like to walk down to the beach. So we like to keep on our toes in the garden, playing around, ensuring that we're keeping nice and active. And finally, sleep. All three of my children, they're very young, 2, 3, and 4 years old, but they go to bed at 6:15 to 6:30 every evening, and they stay in bed until the same time the next morning, 6:15ish, which is 12 hours. For young children especially, it's so important to get a long, lengthy period of sleep, and for adults as well. So myself and Mrs. Sadler ensure that we do get the required hours sleep. So that's how we keep active. I hope that helps.
My name is Justine Saxton. I have a daughter that is in year 6 and she's an incredibly fussy eater. There is only selected fruit and vegetables that she will eat. So I do make sure that she has that fruit in her lunchbox every day. And then whether it's fresh or frozen, I make sure she has that vegetables and I cook it for her meal in the evening. Little does she know, I also cook veg and put it into meals that she does like spaghetti bolognese or meatballs, and then I'll freeze these meals and put them in batches. So she's actually enjoying a meal that she enjoys, but she doesn't know that she's also getting the goodness of other vegetables that she wouldn't normally eat. Sleep is also a very important routine in our house. Dubai's school days are very long, and it's really important that she gets the sleep that she needs at night. I do this by putting a good routine in at night. So at a certain time, that's time to chill out, then it's bath or shower time, and then it's time for her to go to bed so she can read a story, and then it's lights out at a certain time. I really do try to get her to have 10 hours of sleep every night so she's ready for the next day.
Hey, it's Mr. Blackwood here. My family and I lead a healthy and active lifestyle by eating healthy snacks. Did you know toddlers need between 11 and 14 hours sleep every 24 hours, and adults need between 7 and 9 hours sleep? That's why as a family we always ensure we're in bed early. Staying active is also an important part of our daily routine, and we ensure we get between 30 and 60 minutes of exercise every single day.
Hi there, hope everyone's doing well. To ensure my family and I lead a healthy lifestyle, I think it's really important to get a good sleep routine in place, because if your children aren't rested, they're going to struggle to grow, and they're going to be tired in the day, so they're not going to want to do the sort of healthy active things. We try to put fruit into smoothies so they're getting lots of nutrition and healthy things to eat that way. We try to make sure that they have fruit and vegetables every day on their dinner plate. Sometimes it's not always successful. If we're in a mall, we try to take the stairs rather than get the elevator. Try and be active as much as we can on the weekends, going swimming, cycling, into the park, whatever we can do really just to stay fit and healthy, because our 5-year-old is very active anyway, and he needs to burn off that energy. Anyway, I hope these tips helped you. See you later.
Hi, Mr. Boo from Secondary PE. Just to let you know about what we do within our household for a healthy, active lifestyle. We encourage good eating, exercise, but one I'm going to focus on this morning is sleep. So we ask both our children, one who's in year 6 and one who's in year 10, to leave their phones outside their bedroom. So we actually have a charging port in the upstairs living space, just to make sure the children are switching off from the devices and they're not using them till late on, and they get an opportunity to wind down and let the brain functions slow themselves down so they can get a good night's sleep. But then as parents, we also have the same issue. We actually use a sleep app within the clock application on your phone. We set it for 8 hours sleep, so when our 8 hours sleep's just about to start, I think it's about 30 minutes beforehand, it actually stops sending you notifications to your phone. So if anybody rings you or texts you, it doesn't light up your phone. It actually gives you opportunity to wind down yourself. So importance of sleep can never be underestimated, especially if you have a young family. So that's my hints and tips, and hopefully you've taken something from that. Bye.
Are a fantastic way to ensure our children are being active, and a great way to enhance social development. Here in Dubai, we are lucky to have a huge number of brilliant providers, and I'm going to go through a few of my top picks here. So bottom left, we have Core Judo, which is based in Motor City. Their head coach, Aaron Turner, is a former GB athlete. Above that, we have Ultimate Athletics, which is based in DIA, and Junecrest American School, which is just 10 minutes from WSO. At the top, we have Hamilton Aquatics, which I'm sure lots of you have heard of. A huge number of our students swim with them, and they have an outstanding reputation, and rightly so. In the middle, we have Do Gym, a brilliant gymnastics club. This is based at our school, along with a few other venues. And next to that, we have Aspire Gymnastics, which is based in DIP, and Nad Al Hammer, which is just 10 to 15 minutes from school. At the bottom, another fantastic athletics provider, Athletes in Schools. We've worked closely with them, and they work with lots of GEM schools. They're based in GWA and DAA. And then top right, you'll see a flyer for IJF, It's Just Football. Again, a brilliant football provider, multiple venues, including WSO. And this flyer here is advertising their summer holiday camp, and their prices are very, very reasonable, even more so with the discount, the WSO discount that they offer. Now, all of these come highly recommended, as I've experienced them all firsthand, either through working with them through the PE department or my own children going to these clubs weekly. So if you are interested in signing your child up to one of these sports, I highly recommend one of these clubs. Now, I mentioned earlier that the PE department had a YouTube channel. During lockdown last year, when we went to remote learning, we created a YouTube channel where we uploaded all of our lessons so that the students had access to them. We now have almost a year's supply of these lessons, which are a fantastic resource for all age groups, from FS all the way through the school. So, as I mentioned earlier, if you or your children are struggling for activity ideas, this is a great resource to use. I would like you to sit back and enjoy the highlights video that we've put together for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and as I say, that was just a selection of highlights from the YouTube channel. Now there are fitness-based activities on there. We've got yoga, we've got gymnastics, and we've got lots of skill-based activities as well. Throwing, catching, football, hockey, tennis, volleyball. We've got all sorts on there, so please do visit that with your child, and hopefully they can have lots of fun while being active. Another great resource that is available to you. Last year when we ran our inter-house competition, Miss Bates, along with the PE department, created a PE website. Now on this website there are lots of different physical challenges, so again some really entertaining activities to help with activity levels, but there's also a summer well-being page as well. Now this is currently being updated. Some of the information you're seeing here is from last year, but by within the next few weeks it will be updated, ready for the summer holiday. But lots of different resources on well-being. There's podcasts on there, there's mindfulness activities on there. So again, just a fantastic resource that you and your children can use to make sure that we are being healthy and active. Now, before we finish, I'd like to share our top tips and key takeaways. Number one, start early. Don't start this in a week's time or a month's time or in the summer holidays. Start it tomorrow. The sooner you start, the better it will be for you and your family. Build these routines so that they become healthy habits for you and your family. Now, if you are in a position where you're hoping to make wholesale changes, I wouldn't recommend doing it all at once because that can be quite overwhelming for you and your children. So if, for example, you're aiming to make big changes to your diet, your sleeping patterns, and your exercise routines, I wouldn't recommend doing it all at once. Maybe spend a week on one, second week you move to the second, and the third week you move on to the third. And just introduce small changes to begin with, so you're not overwhelmed by the big changes. Number two, if you're struggling for time, the 15-minute HIIT workouts that we discussed are the way forward. They are a fantastic way to burn a lot of calories, to get a lot of exercise done in a short amount of time. Number three, struggling for fitness ideas, refer to the PE department's website and YouTube channel. Number four, be a role model for your children. If you want them to make changes with them. It makes the whole journey and the whole process much more enjoyable, much more manageable, and you can support each other in the change. Number five, all about diet. Shop, grow, prepare and cook food together, and where possible, always do try and eat together. That family time is so special, really good for well-being. Good opportunity for our children to open up and discuss things. So fantastic time to eat together and to share thoughts and feelings. Number six, where possible, avoid forcing things on your child. You should be hopefully aiming to expose them to a wide variety of choices and then nurturing them into making the correct healthy decisions. So whether that's with food or with exercise or sports, if you provide them with a wide range of choices and then guide them through making the correct choice that suits them best. Number seven, bedtime routines are crucial. Be consistent, whether that's with the bedtime, the actual time that they're going to bed, or with the things, the routines that they're doing before bed. Be consistent with it. And finally, remember the sacrifice of time and effort or money is always worth it. Most of the tips I've given you today and that we've discussed, of course, require more effort, time, or money, or all three, but it is always worthwhile. Our children are, of course, the most important and precious things to us. So these sacrifices that we make are, of course, to ensure that they are happy and healthy. So they are absolutely necessary. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you have found it useful. Please remember to complete the feedback form so that we can continue to grow and improve these parent engagement sessions. Take care, stay safe, and stay healthy.